Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Angela Brennan and today I'm bringing you my final submission of Kendra Cards Challenge number 9. It's a quarterly challenge with a whole lot of prizes from various sponsors. It's a quarterly challenge that started on the 1st of January 2023 and it ends on the 31st of March 2023. I've already had 2 submissions and I'll put the links to that in the description below. And I start off by following the cutting guidelines that comes free with the card challenge. So I follow the cutting guidelines and I cut each of my 6x6 pattern papers and organize it by putting it into numbered poly pockets from 1 to 15 for each of the card sketches. Now you've got to be organized when you do this challenge. The card sketches are color coordinated with the cutting guidelines. So you'll see, for example, paper A is in red and paper B is in yellow. And when you look at card sketch 1, you can see the yellow and red there. So it's very clearly shown how each of the pattern papers relate to each of the card sketches. And this will help you choose the right pattern papers as well. It is of course easier to choose all 6 pattern papers from one paper pad because the pattern papers in one paper pad tend to coordinate, and sometimes you even have the plain colored mats for the pattern papers that you use in the same paper mat. Sometimes, not always. As I cut the pattern papers following the cutting guidelines, I put it into numbered poly pockets. And that's the first point of it. And the cutting guidelines are so clearly shown. It adds an arrow that shows you where to start cutting, and it's got numbers in each of the pieces to show which card sketch it relates to, as well as arrows to show which way you'll be using that pattern paper. So if you've got a pattern paper that requires to go in a certain orientation, you know how to use that as well. And once I've cut all my pieces and put it into the 15 poly pockets, the next stage is about getting each of the card sketches in front of you and starting to get all the pieces compiled for each of the card sketches, and that can entail getting the right sentiment or ephemera, a plain colored cardstocks for the mats, all of those elements of card strips, etc. And I get that and I put it to each of the poly pockets for each of the card sketches. This mat, instead of getting a colored cardstock, I've taken a white cardstock and used my Catherine Pooler inks and an ink blending tool and just colored the edges of it so it looks like a mat that matches the patterned paper. And that's why having swatches is amazing, because I can use all my swatches and see which colors matches the mat I want closest. I find it easier sometimes to get all my mats just ink blended with my inks that I have. You can either do that, use colored cardstock, or even get card strips to put at the edges to look like a mat. There's many ways to do your mats for these card sketches. Now, as I compile these, I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. But when I assemble the cards, I may change my minds here and there. So I've got a section that I'll show you how I've put each of these cards together, and then I'll show you my completed cards. But what you have at the end of the video, since this is my 3rd submission, I'll show you by each card sketch how I've done each of the submissions. So you get to see all the 3 cards for each of the card sketches together. I really hope you enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press that notification bell so you're alerted when a future video is uploaded. I'll put the links below to all my previous submissions for this Kendra Cards Challenge number 9, so you can go and have a look at it. But do head over to my blog. I've got links to all the products I've used, as well as close-up pictures of all the cards as well. Happy crafting, and I'll catch you at my next video.